Sawubona mbukeli, indawo yokuhlala ayibizi, imba eqolo namarenta enyuka iminyaka neminyaka, kanti nokuthenga umuzi kusho phela ukuthi uzoyibophela esikweletini eside isikhathi lesi. Kodwa ke ekugcineni umthengi kumele phela athathe isinqumo esithize. Ikuphi ke okungcono, ukuthenga noma ukurenta? Ngintokazi yakajali unhlanhla ole uAlisha. Ngithi nje sanibonani babukeli, we are live today, so ungangishayela ucingo emva kwesikhathi 0117146918, alternatively 7146919. You can email us, you can call us, you can even tweet us here on Yilungelo Lakho. Singabeke samosha isikhathi mbukeli, asihlale nje phezu kwendaba namhlanje. Bukela uthanda uxolo xaki no John Mufukeng balapha eGoli, abomakhelwana bathatha izinqumo phela ezahlukene mayelana nezindawo zokuhlala. Ake siza ukuthi ngabe izinqumo zabo isabasebenzela kanjani.
Uthanda uxolo xaki onkaba esematatiyela eMpuma Kapa sele eneminyaka eli-15 ehlala emzini awuqeshileyo. Amaxabiso aphezulu ezindlu akhokhele ekubeni angakwazi ukufezekisa amaphupha wakhe wokuzithengela umzi.
Actually, that's the main reason nje ukuthi umuntu asifumane rent is because you're coming from far and you don't qualify to buy your own house, and at the same time you don't qualify to get an RDP house. So abantu abakulo bracket leyo, they find themselves renting. But not only them, but most of the time that's what I've seen nabantu endibaziyo.
Ngoku uyabona ukuba le minyaka ayichithe ehlawula imali yokuhlala endlini eqashiweyo imenze asilele ngasemva.
Ekundibuyiseleni emva, I had dreams to pursue my education even further, because now I have to rent, and that's the first thing that you have to do every month. Otherwise you won't have a place to hlala. So London le ikwenza ukuthi usacrifice ezinye izinto because i-basic need into kumele uyenze nakanjani, otherwise awunandawo uzohlala kuyo. So ndizibone ndingakwazi ukuqhubeleka ngemfundo, that's into yokuqala leyo. Okwesibini, i-renting you don't have ilento that comfort ukuba ube ne-property.
Ukuhlala endlini eqashiweyo kumenze angabi namzi usisigxina.
For an example, i-cupboard yabo, awunayo la comfort ukuthi i-property yakho ibe ntsha ela xesha ibizaba ibe ntsha ngalo, yabona. Maybe sithi ibizaba right for 7 years, ngoba kumele ba umove. Xa umove iyamosheka i-property. Xa umove kunethi imvula and all those things, so i-property mosheke. So you find yourself having to now ufaka imali back kulantu bosoyifumene. So that's one, that's the other one. And enye akekho umuntu ongahaleli ba nekhaya lakhe nabantwana bakhe, yabona. Xa urenta you are not able to save, so then you cannot save for a deposit for a house.
Kodwa ummelwane wakhe uJohn Mufukeng yena wanelisekile sisigqibo asenzayo sokuzithengela indlu ethi yena.
Kumnandi ukuba ukuhlala endlini ongarenti, uyasave. Ushuthi uyakwazi ukuthi mhlawumbe asithi umnyango umoshekile, uyakwazi ukuthi uthenge umnyango wena, uyazi ukuthi lo mnyango awuthengela omunye umuntu, uthengela wena. Noma yini ejardini aba yona ingadi, uyazi ukuthi wenzela wena, wenzela omunye umuntu. Enye into emnandi, akunamuntu okuhluphayo ukuthi yini uyarasa ebusuku or understand ufika late wena ukokota amagate wenza izinto ezisnacks, kushuthi nje une freedom.
Abanye bathethe benjenje.
Engiyisabayo ukuthi mawukuthi i-bond house and then into engagcina yenzeka phaka kwelacala ukuthi indlu bagcina bengenzani bengithathela yona ngoba ngisakhona ukusebenza.
Their rent which is a little bit a strain, because nowadays mau rent alana it's like you don't own anything. You can stay flating like for instance 10 years. If ungajamba nje 1 month ungazange wakhokha bakosha like nobody's business. And they don't consider what you have stayed for a long time or good khona mhlambe nawo ngakubhenefita in that.
The advantage is that, for example, I'm a student, I can move at any time if I wish to move, and it's easier that way.
You're investing on property, something that will last long than renting.
And mauzo puma futhi kulelo flat bazokcharge ukuthi okay, you have to fix what has been broken, all those kind of things.
Awungetsho ngokugqibeleleyo kuba yeyiphi engcono kunenye. Ekugqibeleni isigqibo silele emntwini nepokotho yakhe. Nomvuyo Ntanjana, Yilungelo Lakho.
Siyabonga kakhulu kwintokazi Nomvuyo Ntanjana ngaleyo mbika sididiyele wona manje mbukela ukuthi siyisindaba yethu phambili namhlanje masamukele ubhuti Elias Ushamatla nyamazi ke isishoshovu samalungelo abathengi obuya eMarefi Consulting lapha khona ngiphethe intokazi enhle uSisidineo Molomo yena kuuchwephesha phela ngezindaba zezindlu ubuya khona kwaDineo Properties kanye la on my left nginayo insizwa ubhuti uLucas Mapula yena ke ubuya eLeso Estates. Lady and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Let me start with the lady. Welcome, Sister Dineo.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here. I'm good, thank you. We initially started off as an estate agency company. We evolved to finding solutions where there are problems related to property matters. We educate consumers. We dedicated to broadcasting live in Umhlobo Wenene tomorrow at 10:30 and other SABC radio stations for the past 10 years. So we educate you and we advise as to what it is we can do for you. If you're having a problem, you're looking for something and you don't know how to answer it, we may be able to help you to find a solution for it.
So nalabantu abangakathengi ngisho ukuthenga that are even considering whether to rent or to buy, you people are the best people ukuthi beze kunini.
Absolutely.
All right, intokazi. But Elias siyakwazi insizwa kodwa uthi nje kancane ama viewers wethu ukuthi nenzani lapha eMarefi Consulting.
Ga leboga ba mona tsatsi lena rona ga le Marefi Consulting re thusa di consumers tse leng gore di na le probleme ka di issues tsa bona ha re bua taba tsa di property ga ba thusa wa advisor ka rona ba ka reka kapa ba ka renta. If ba reka o ba renta, what should they look out for example into tsa tshwana di bo di levy into tsa tshwana le bo di special levy wa tseba ga o kena di flatting hona di special levy ona how bua di body corporate who bua ka eng di trustees who bua ka eng into tsa tshwana le tseo because our background go re tswa banking re tseba ka property registration le ka property auction.
Okay, so you've got it all covered, all in one. Yikho sithi isishoshovu nje samalungelo abathengi bhuti Elias kanti bhuti Lucas so akamukela nsizwa nenzani lapha eLeso Estates.
Thank you very much. Leso Estates, we are a real estate agency and we sell properties. Sincedisa abantu ukuthola ama properties okurenta as well. We prepare those who cannot afford to buy properties, and we as well advise them in terms of what needs to be done for them to can be able to afford at a later stage. And yes, that's basically what we do.
All right, so we also insert lapho ukuthi thini. Let's focus on our two case studies. Ubaba uThanda uXolo uyasho ukuthi the pitfalls of ukurenta, there is no sense of comfort. Sisidineo, he can't personalize the house, he can't make changes, structural changes, or anything that is going to personalize this space asibiza ekhaya. There is none of that because we are renter. So talk to us about ilokhuzane viewpoint yakhe when it comes to abantu abarentayo.
Ngathi mina i-viewpoint yakhe ibalekile kakhulu as ukuthi thina abantu abamnyama kujwayelekile ukuthi sibe nendawo zokuhlala ezibiza thina ngosiko kumele ukuthi bekhona izinto esizenzayo and kumele uzenze kwakho
kumele ube nomsamo endlini.
Exactly. So ungenzi la kubiza khona ubasi omunye mhlawumbe umbhadala rent
ngekubona idlozi kuloyo.
Exactly. So with that said, I would definitely say there are positives and negatives in terms of being able to own your own property or to even rent your own property. I'd say for people who are starting for the first time, renting is really not a bad option. It's something that I would strongly encourage, because then you get that exercise of knowing how to manage your responsibility on the day-to-day, month-to-month, even up to a year stage. So I would say for somebody who's starting for the first time, has never been by themselves, start with renting. Give yourself at least about a year, settle in within a place of work up until you are ready to actually get started in buying a property. By the time you get to buying, you are very much well-versed in terms of what are the pitfalls, what's expected, because by the time you have a bond, you don't have room for making any mistakes. Uzwile mabekhuluma basho bathi uzothola ukuthi uhlale khona up to 10 years.
Kodwa mongeke wangakhokha
uyabona bayaxosha.
Yebo.
So uyakhona exercise ke law ma rights lawo ukuthi uwenza kanjani by the time so owner a property. Not to say that even when somebody has a bond, will not make an error or a default of any kind of not being able to buy. Things happen and unexpected measures happen when it comes to finances.
That's absolutely true. But Elias, when I know ukuthi usebenza ngabantu that come to you ngama case studies ukuthi baneyinkinga ezinjani. I mean, what are some of the most common issues abantu abayireport kuwena when it comes to izinto zokurent?
The issue is that when you die, if you are renting, it means that the landlord is going to evict your family. There's nothing on your liquidation and distribution account. There's no legacy that you leave behind for your children. So imagine you come from KZN, you are here in Joburg, you are working, you have been renting for 10 years. And after 10 years, sadly you die. When you die, your children are...
And you have no claim to that property.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now the issue is, imagine your own parents are also deceased. Your children don't have anywhere else to go.
But Lucas, I mean, talk to us about when you advise abantu that come to you seeking advice, whether it's before nungena kwi housing market, whether it's renting or buying. Nithini kubona nina, is renting or buying the advice that you give them? What do you tell them?
It is quite good for any human being to own some habitat, to own a house. It is actually a need, not just a want. Therefore, there are different predicaments whereby umuntu definitely would love to own a property, but based due to different issues like maybe the credit record, hey, I'm still studying at work and all those kind of things. I'm scared to buy.
You don't qualify.
Or I don't qualify. I'm under a bracket, you qualify, and so forth. What we do as Lakho Estates, we realize the importance of having a property under your roof and under your ownership. We always advise people to buy.
Okay.
That's the first thing. As he mentioned, based on effect, a property is an asset. Once you acquire an asset, there's a lot that you can do economically in terms of growing as an individual.
Yeah.
Then the next thing is those that need to be prepared. I cannot afford Nyasaba, I need to buy. What do I need to do? You can start by renting. There's nothing wrong with that. Renting in some cases, it should just be treated as a preparatory stage.
Yeah,
whereby,
stepping stone.
Yes, whereby maybe you are renting because you want to fix your credit record. You're renting because you want to stay in this area which you are not...
So it should be a temporary measure, not something long-term.
It should be a temporary measure, and at a long run, then you come back after we've prepared you and we give you a property to own. You need to be able to paint your house. In a rental, you can't paint someone's house. So basically, yes. It should be a preparatory.
But Lucas, uthi yena mofika nje kuyena uzothi yazi ngicela uthenga indlu ngoba mufuna ukwazi ukuthi indlu uyibiza ukuthi ikhaya kumele wazi ukuthi imini ofaka ibrush lapende ngafaka lo pendo blue. Bukeli singathanda ukuza ukuthi wena ke ucabangani nokuthi phela ekuphi okungcono according to you. What has been some of your experiences uma ngabe mhlambe kade urenta noma mhlambe uyothenga? We're coming back with more shortly after this. Do stay with us. Yilungelo, Lakho, Bugeli, welcome back. We're talking property ukuthi uyathenga noma uyarenta njengoba phela siyibhizi sisho ukuthi abantu baqalile ngama New Year's resolutions. Umuntu ushilo nje wabeka imali yakhe stockfella last year wathi yena come January or February mina ngiyobeka phansi i-deposit for a house. So now uSisidinewo, uBhuti Elias noBhuti Lucas, they're here in studio trying to give us that relevant information ekumele uyazi wena Mbugeli for free khona la ku SABC 1 eMzansi for sure. All right, so let's talk about maybe options, Sistinewo, that one can have before even considering getting into this property market. We know Uguti property worldwide, it's a very lucrative industry, but you need to know the pros and cons Uguti wenzani, whether you're buying or renting.
So as we said a little bit earlier, you can choose to start off by renting. I think the gentleman also agreed
Added
to
some
that.
weight, yeah.
But ultimately, we need to own, yes, because it is of value that you do get to own your own property and leave it behind as a legacy and be able to do as you wish within that space. You do find circumstances, however, where it doesn't really allow you to be staying in that house at that time that you even have bought. You find people who are renting for different reasons, as Uputi has pointed out. And one of those reasons could be your affordability bracket. And by that, I mean...
Isn't that the main factor, Sister?
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's really very important because we want to always be fitting in with the Kunenes and the Jones. You find that in your age between 35 and 40, you want to be able to afford a house, let's say, of between 3, if not 4 million rand, and it doesn't quite work like that. It doesn't mean don't invest, don't buy the property. You can buy the property wherever it is that you can afford and put in a tenant in order for them to rent.
Okay.
Even though you are still the owner of the property, then go and rent what you are still able to afford, which perhaps could be at a slightly higher bracket. Because remember, another advantage of renting is that you are able to get spaces that could possibly be bigger and they come at less the price as compared to if you were to buy the property at that stage. If I give you an example, if you look at houses within suburbs, you find that kind of an example where you will find maybe a 4-bedroom, a 5-bedroom. If you were to buy it, you'll spend R1 million. But if you are or at least R1 million, and let's say your installment on a monthly basis would be about 10,000 rand if it's on an interest rate of 10%. And if you are to rent it, you could find it at less that amount as of what you would be paying if it were a bond. So there are those kind of advantages. But if your affordability says, I can afford 500,000 of a house, buy it and put somebody in order to rent it out. Okay. That's one advantage.
All right. And then while we're talking about that, mebeza kuwena abantu befuna this kind of advice, but Elias, uyambheka umuntu ubhekisise ngempela ukuthi who can actually afford to buy and who can afford to rent.
Exactly.
What do you look for?
The budget first. Can they afford to buy a property?
Okay.
If they cannot afford to buy...
So age and gender and zonke lezo zinto, they're not a factor?
No, they're not a factor. Actually,
are you sure?
That plays a role in the area. For example, if you want to buy a property in a certain area and your partner's ex is staying there, you might have a problem. Other than that, it's not a factor. But many people are not aware of the FLISP subsidy. That is the subsidy from the government. It subsidizes everyone that earns between 3,500 to 22,000 rand. Okay. You can get absolutely free 87,000 rand that can be paid towards your bond or towards the transfer costs.
Okay, yes. All right. But Lucas, what's in when
it is just to add on, it's like a grant, the 1 year flips, mostly concentrating on those that I've mentioned, Uti, they are not in the affording bracket.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, mostly you'll find Uti, especially election. Remember, seeing Abantu, we are not well vested, we are not informed about these things. Uktenga, uktengisa, ukrenta. And whatever problem that we come across, we tend to ukbuza umakelwan instead of ukuthi uyobuza ama-expect abafana nabo Lucas. Those that can give you
word of mouth.
definitely definitely umakhelwane will tell you ukuthi awujwayela kabi.
Akunikeza misinformation.
Definitely. So it is quite imperative ukuthi thina seeing ama-property expert, seeing ama-property professionals, see not only sell houses but educate this our people, give our people an understanding. There's nothing wrong renting. There's nothing wrong buying.
Available options.
There is different for as long as you know why you are buying, why you are renting.
But Lucas, maybe just to go back to your previous points there, I'm sure abantu bavuli indlebe maybe uzukhuluma ngendaba zama grants nokuthi atholakala kanjani. But Elias, I remember, I'm not sure if you were here when we did this topic ukuthi government was going to introduce these houses where people can pay imali ethize so that they can stay in a certain house. Do you know how that grant system actually works?
Definitely.
Lucas, please explain it to us.
Definitely. It is, as I've mentioned, it's like the government is subsidizing some portion of the amount that you will be buying the property for.
So,
for instance, Okola 4,000.
Yeah.
With the 10%, I mean, with the lending criteria here in my banks, you cannot spend over 30% of your income go property.
That's true.
Then Mauhola 10,000, it simply means you qualify for a property plus minus just under 300,000.
Okay.
Therefore, a property less than 300,000. Therefore, it means you cannot afford to purchase your own property.
Okay.
Then the government comes in when lama paper, lama application where flips. The property is 380,000 or the property is 400,000. They take care of that difference.
Okay.
You qualify for 300,000, and they take care of that. Let's say 80,000 to make sure you qualify, and that is a grant. You do not pay it back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
it does not come easy.
But do you have a choice of land or it's a certain group of houses where you can actually go and apply for these sort of grants?
It is mostly certain fragments. You can buy in this section or in this area or this. You know, the prices determines the area, and obviously, as you were telling somebody in Santinaiko, two-bedroom, 1 million. So it restricts you to some certain areas based on the bracket prices.
Okay, it makes sense though. Mbugeli, ithi ngithathe usis Unathi ovela la eGauteng. She's been holding on the line for so long. Sis Unathi, ngiyaxolisa Ntokazi, i-discussion isuke yashisa la e-studio. Uthini umbuzo wakho before siye ekhefini? Sis Unathi? Usakhona Ntokazi? All right, I guess imiyeke usis Unathi. I know ukuthi usabuka. We're going to take a quick ad break. Mesibuya nje. We're still taking your calls on 011-714-6918 or 619-6189. That is the number to call right here on Yilungelo Lakho. We are live here on SABC 1. Welcome back Mbukeli. Namhlanje sixoxa indaba ebaluleke kabi. Wonke umuntu uyazi ukuthi for wena ukuthi waziwe njengomuntu emhlabeni kumele ube nento oyikhombayo ukuthi nansi indlu yami or nali ikhaya lami. Manje ke sidingida ukuthi uyathenga noma uyarenta. Bakhona ke abavakashi bami la e-studio basichazela ukuthi what are the best options for wena ngoba phela not everybody can afford ukuthi ayothenga indlu. Khona abanye kumele ukuthi baqale somewhere ekutheni barent. I've been talking about your Facebook messages and tweets. Let's quickly take a look at those Facebook messages before Ngiyagu Unathi, who's back on the line. Utabiso Khatebe at Loli says, I prefer to own my property than renting. Uyakhona ukuseva nokwenza izinto zakho ngendlela oyithandayo. Isikweletu singinukela kabi shem. Siyabonga kakhulu Utabiso. Let's hope abanye babanukelwa ikweletu umuntu enze imali asebenzisa imali ngendlela efanele. Usizwe Aubrey says, please do ask about renting with the intention to buy. Ngizokubuzela nsizwe ungathuki. I'll be asking that question in a short while Ulindelihle Harvard says, it is much better to build your own home. Nansi impendulo kakhulu rather than buying the house, because buying it can cost you 2 times the amount of money obungayifaka ukuthi uyithenge indlu. Uthabani Jesus yena uthi ke it is better to buy your own house or build because it costs you time. Uthini, it is better to buy your own house or build because it costs you time and money. All right, it's ngithathu sis Unathi lapha before we deliberate on those messages that you've put through on our social media network. Sis Unathi here in Gauteng, kunjani Ntokazi?
Ngiyaphila njani sis?
Ngiyabonga sithanda sami, bese nginewari ukuthi usuhambile. Ngicela usibuze umbuzo wakho ma.
Oh okay, ngicela ukubuza manje, ngicela ukuphuma kancane nje topic ngoba nginenkinga la. Mina nendodami sathenga indlu 2013 nesithenga from ku-agent. Masithenga indlu sayibhadala for 3 years. But abantu basesekhona ngoba sathenga indlu ereposisiwe. So makumele ukuthi abantu baphume phakathi, then agent yazama ukuthi bakhiphe, yahluleka ukubakhipha, and then after 3 years sesibhadalela indlu wathola ukuthi sesiyahluleka ngoba mele siyorenta somewhere else plus i-bond. But ayeka kanjalo indlu ke, then but bank besiliwe sibareportela from the time indlu banenkinga, but ibank yathi yona ifuna imali yayo back. But sibuyela back to i-agent. Masibuyela back to agent balibe bathi bazositry ukuthi abantu babakhiphe but bahluleka. So sahluleka nathi ubhadala sayeka kanjalo indlu, but mase sibuyela manje sifuna investigate indaba yendlu, indlu say over 500,000, and masiya ebank bashela ukuthi bazama ukuthi basixhumane nathi ngoba indlu manje sebayithengisa ku-auction
manje. Sis Unathi, the whole time nithenge le ndlu you've never ever went to go niyohlala kuyona phakathi because you've been fighting ngale issue yalabantu abangafuni ukuphuma?
Asikaze sahlala nakayi-1 sis, asikaze sahlala endlini mara besilibe sibhadala 3 years yonke sibhadala 4,500 for endlini mara asikaze sahlala nakayi-1 mara manje simasiya ebank sebasitshela ukuthi sine-case yokuthi sowayi 500,000 yendlu but indlu seyithengisiwe kwi-auction ye-30,000. So masithi sifuna ukuyilandelela indlu, so besifuna unceda ukuthi singayilandelela kanjani because asikwazi ukuthenga enye indlu ngoba kuvele leya indlu.
Okay, and then sis Unathi, if bethi banlokhuzile, if bathi forgive me there, if bethi indlu sebeyidayisile, how did they give you any proof of ukuthi indlu yenu isithengiselwa abanye abantu? Because I'm sure when you bought that house wanikezwa a piece of paper to confirm ukuthi wena umthengi.
No, akaze. The only thing abasibonisa yona laphayana basibonisa ama-SMS ukuthi bathumela, and then baya la indoda yami yayisebenza khona bathola ukuthi sekashintshile ikhampani ayisekho laphayana, but basibonisa ukuthi bathumela nama-email bazama ukusitshela ukuthi mabafika ebhenki abatholi imali, but ukuthi basithole kule address leya esihlala kuyo azange baye ngoba i-address isevesini nanamhlanje sahlala kule address asibhalise ngayo zonke izinto khona.
Sis Unathi, uba ukutshela zonke le story agent?
No, akusi agent, masiya ebank la sasithenge khona information.
Okay.
Base bakhipha ama-record bathi no sayenza ama-email saya la ubaba bekasebenza khona then akunamuntu esimtholile, so that's why indlu sabona ukuthi asithengise.
All right, Ntokazi, ngicela uhlale nje lapho kumabona kude wakho. I have very qualified guests la studio abazokusiza ngendaba yakho. Siyabonga kakhulu ngombuzo wakho. Sisiphumla eSprings, ngiyakwamukela Ntokazi, umbuzo noma umbono? Hello Sisiphumla, kunjani?
Ngikhona njani?
Siyaphila sisiwami, ungaqhubeka ngombuzo wakho.
Okay, nginembuzo emibili la. Umbuzo wokuqala bengibuza ukuthi kwake kwaba ne-announcement eke yenziwa uMinister of Finance ukuthi uma ngabe uyi-first time home buyer uthenga i-property ye-900,000 and less, then uba exempted from ama-transfer fees.
Okay.
So bengifuna ukwazi ukuthi ugowa about kanjani ngoba mase uthenga indlu uyithola isegameni lomunye umuntu nase ufuna ukuyishintsha bakutshela ukuthi ama-attorneys need to be involved, and then ama-attorneys bese sewakubalela according to the price ye-property. Angikhumbuli bemenshina le ndaba yokuthi ngoba i-property yakho i-900,000 and less, therefore you do not pay.
Okay,
so baba ne-formula abayisebenzayo.
Okay, Ntokazi, umbuzo wakho wesibili uthini-ke?
And then owesibili umbuzo wami futhi ukuthi uma ngabe ithi nje ngenze nayi indlu i-title deed beyisegameni le-relative ethile bese uba ne-letter of authority
ukuthi wena osothenga indlu
ushonile.
Ushonile.
yes.
Okay, so nifuna
manje masofuna uyishintshele egameni lakho still nakhona bese bafuna futhi ukuthi ube nemali oyikhiphayo kanti this is a family house, you are not actually buying. Kodwa uthola ukusebenza ngeformula ngazuthi you are buying from someone else. So naleyo nkinga leyo ngoba leyo engikhuluma ngayo in particular.
All right, Siyabonga Sisiphumla. Thank you so much for those two very relevant questions, sister. Now, maybe let me start with you on her first question, Togazi. What do you think about that? Okay.
Sis Unathi bengathi mistake yokuqala ngizopointa out iqala mistake ayenzile. Mistake yabo yokuqala ukuthi phela bebene agreement nebank. Manje agreement nebank mina ngiyeza ngosisi Unathi wena uyibank. Uyavuma wena ukuthi uzongiboleka imali. And mawuvuma awazi ama circumstances ezendlu. Uyazi nje the value yendlu kuphela ukuthi indlu iyimalini. So manginikeza imali ngisana leso sivumelane leso ukuthi ngizobhadala every month imali enga. Whether uyangena or awuphumi wena as ibank awazi lutho ngaloko.
Okay, sister, now please hold that point because I quickly have to take a break. Ntokazi sorry ukungena emlonyeni, but we are going to continue shortly after this. Mbukeli, we're coming back after this. To rent or to buy is our topic of discussion. Khona la kwilungelo lakho Mbukeli namhlanje. It is the beginning of the year. Abantu abaningi abebebeke imali bazinvesta njengoba sihlale sibachazela sibancenga bayakwazi ukuthi ke babe nama option ukuthi ngiyathenga indlu or ngiyaqhubeka ngiyarenta. Okay, sister, now we're talking about something Tokazi ngangena emlonyeni ngicela uchaze nje ubusaphendula usisi Unathi.
Bengisasho ke ukuthi usisi Unathi uthathe ibond from ibank. Bekumele ukuthi uyaqhubekeka ngokubhadala ngoba siye savumelana uyibank mina ngusisi Unathi wena awazi ukuthi kwenzakalani when it comes to ukungena endlini noma ukhonile or azange zakhona anga announce kwibank asho ukuthi ngiye ngaba nenkinga kodwa must continue ukubhadala isikoloto sakhe as it is because then ibank izoza kuye and is going to get her when it comes to that agreement being signed.
Fana ne loan nje sister Exactly. Fana ne loan.
So that's the first thing. The caution that I can teach or educate abantu abalalele khona manje ukuthi it's important ukuthi ma uhamba uyothenga indlu if indlu yakhona ioccupiwe waze wakhona ukungena ngaphakathi awubuze mhlambi imibuzo ebalekile mhlambi nakuye lo muntu ohlalayo ukuthi senivumelene na ukuthi uzophuma uyazi ukuthi indlu iyathengiswa nokuthi uyavuma mhlambi aze ayibhale phansi because ama experiences abantu bakithi la bathenga khona indlu bese umuntu angafuna ukuphuma ngaphakathi are very complicated type of experiences.
But sister, now we're talking of it just now ukuthi not all the time do you get umuntu who's going to be transparent enough lokudayisela leyo ndlu ozokutshela ukuthi kahle kahle lendle siyidayisa inabantu that we've been fighting for generations ukuthi baphume and there's nothing we can do about it.
And yazi mina ngifuna ukubheka both sides of the story. Ungathola ukuthi there's a very legit and very pertinent example mhlambi nestory somuntu yena lo ohlalayo ngaphakathi endlini ukuthi kwenze njani ukuthi angafuni ukuphuma.
Esingasazi
baningi futhi abantu abakhonayo ukuthi bathenge indlu yakhona ayithenge inayo naleyo tenant leyo without looking at the background because most of the time sithatha leyo advantage ukuthi just because it's a repossessed house and mhlambe ine price ehlile phansi as compared to ezinye uthatha leyo advantage bese uyathenga mhlambe ungazange wangena nokungena phakathi kwendlu because you are just calling it a bargain only to find that there is a problem, an existing problem mhlambe an existing problem nomnikazi wendlu ngaphakathi endlu mhlambe there could even be litigation between lo muntu loyo mhlambe nebhanki or another person bekathenge kuye. So go through the detail bese uya understand. Ngathi kusisi Unathi, unfortunately this time you have been found wrong because you're going to still be liable for isikoloto sase bank. Badala ke ibanki ibese uyazama ke ukufuna mhlambi ke umuntu owummeli ongakhona ukuthi akusize ukuthi ukhone ukuthola imali yakho back ngandlela ethize ukuthi explain ngathi mina umuntu ngathi ufune ukulwa naye your estate agent. Absolutely. Not the bank.
But Elias, I mean, you deal with these cases on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's very common. Let's talk about the issue of selling the property for 30,000. This is how it works. The bank identifies the area and they classify that area. if they feel that that area is a hotspot area or a gray area, they do what is called no bid, no sale auction.
Okay.
What does that mean? It means that the bank does not send the representative to the auction. So if the property sells for 100 rands, that's it. Because the bank is not interested in that property. They just want to get this property out of their balance sheet.
Okay.
Yes. And then the second part of the question, she spoke about the letter of authority and the family house.
Yeah.
This is what happens. There's no such a thing called a family house. There's no such.
Hayibo, indle yakhe ubaba emakhaya isisele lapha.
In law, there's no family house. The property has got its...
abantu abaningi abanama family homes as we speak.
Yeah. So what happens is that normally when the parents have passed away, we call that property a family house, right? And then we want to transfer that property into our names. We as the siblings sitting here. So what happens is that we cannot transfer that property onto our names. We have to buy that property from the estate. There must be a deed of sale. There must be an agreement of sale whereby we purchase that property, and that transfer of the property has to be endorsed or approved by the Master of the High Court.
Okay.
That is why when you buy a property, the deceased property, every time there must be approval from the Master of the High Court, who checks first if there's any claim on that property.
Okay, yes. All right. But Lucas, I think when awuthatha usisiphumla laphayana uyakhuluma naye ngokuthi ube nenkinga ukuthi there was an announcement ukuthi home buyers would be exempted from certain fees if bebe first time buyers and so forth. What can you tell me about that?
Usisiphumla is very much correct. There is a bracket year price whereby when you buy a property less than 950,000, you are exempted from transfer duty. That is tax.
Okay.
So abantu they do not understand. Usisiphumla is being told ukuthi she must pay for AMA transfer fees. AMA transfer fees in that regard, people just generalize it. It is actually AMA conveyancing fees.
Okay.
It is an attorney called a conveyancer who must transfer that property from the purchase, from the seller into the purchaser. Therefore, it is done at a fee which is normally called AMA transfer fees.
Okay.
But in actual fact, should she be given a statement of account, she will realize that there is something called a transfer fee, which is a tax, which is highly expensive. Believe you me, it is costly.
Yeah.
That she has been exempted from all what she will be paying attorney fees.
Okay,
yes.
All right. Sister, now, her last part of the question, I'm going to take Lakho just now, but she was asking ukuthi we transfer kanjani, ulishintsha kanjani igama kwi-title deed mase uqeda ukuthenga indlu from umuntu that you were dealing with.
Exactly as the gentleman has just pointed out, you depend solely on AMA conveyancers in order to be able to do that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you're not able to do it on your own without them assisting you.
So no private sale can conjure up any title deed. Abantu kumele bakwazi
No,
lokho.
private sale can happen, but you still are in need of conveyancers.
All right, Ntokazi, thank you so much for putting it like that. But Lakho Deep Clove ngiyakwamukela ohlelweni. Awuthi qaba njengombuzo wakhe sowuphendula emva kwekhevu.
Yebo.
Kunjani sisilakhi?
Siyaphila njani ma?
Ngiyaphila ma, ngicela uqhubeke ngombuzo wakho.
Ngicela ukubuza ngoba I'm sorry ukuthi ngiphume kule topic. I was married to my husband and then divorced in 1997.
Yebo
and
ma.
then thereafter, that 2004, I registered my house without my consent. And we were married in community of property. So I've been trying to go to the lawyers, trying to get help. I can't get help anyway.
Okay ma. All right, siyabonga kakhulu umam Lakho all the way in Deep Clove sizokuphendula emva kwaleli khefu. Hey mbukeli masigijime siye eTolo. We're coming back after that. It's our final segment. Mbukeli siyaqhubeka-ke nendaba yokuthi wena mase unemali uyarenta noma uyathenga indlu na. All right, but Lucas, quickly let's talk about umbuzo ka Mam Lakho la eDeep Kloof. Uyasho ukuthi wadivorce bebeshade in community of property. Nansi indoda siyahamba manje usezwa kuthiwa isidayise the family home without her consent.
Quite frankly, once you get married in community of property, you share 50-50 with your partner. Therefore, once you get divorced, you're depending on the decree of divorce. But once you get divorced and maybe the decree of divorce stipulates Uguti, the assets should be sold and shared amongst each other 50-50, the husband or the other party cannot dispose any asset, especially the immovable asset in law, without the consent of the next. That can only happen if maybe she was summoned to court to sign ama sales document and the transfer documents, and she refused up to until the magistrate or the court aniga sheriff umvumo yokuthi assign on her behalf. Okay. If that did not happen, believe you me, that can be taken up and it can be resolved, whereby her 50% should be a coefficient ukuthi iguphi kanjani. I suspect some shenanigans. She must just find other people like Ubud Elias to intervene and assist, obviously Elias, at a cost.
But Elias, what do you think can happen there? Because is it the only conditions where it's possible for that type of go through? Lucas.
Two things. The property has been sold to the innocent buyer. So most probably the property cannot be reversed.
Yeah.
The transfer cannot be reversed.
Yes. Amount that
so she has got a claim against the ex-husband.
Okay.
Yes, to give her 50% share.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so it's that simple.
But if he has eaten the money, that's a problem.
Sis Dineo, your input then, Dogas, what do you think should happen here?
I want to agree and disagree with that statement, because I'm just saying, I'm thinking, I'm putting myself in the lady's shoes. What if then I don't want to just leave it at that?
Yes.
And I want to contest to getting my house back, because that's all I know, and I'm counting on wanting to live in that house.
Absolutely.
Is it possible then to find a way of explaining to the person that bought, Uguti, you've bought perhaps fraudulently?
A disputed house.
Does it mean then, Uguti, once something has been done fraudulently, we leave it at that and we say, no, it will be a dispute, an illegal case that goes on at a cost for a long period of time? I'm just putting a spanner in the works.
Thank you so much, guys. You know what? Let's refer back to our Facebook messages. There was imbuzo laphayana kade ingichaza kakhulu uSizwe Aubrey uthi please ask about renting with the option or intention to buy. Ubani ufuna ungiphendula lapho? But Lucas,
renting with the intention to buy goes back to what I was saying. It is you should treat it as a preparatory loan, whereby you say, I want to fix my finances. How different is it from
umuntu osayine ilizi yokurenta kuphela when you are renting with the option to buy?
All right. Osayine ilizi, he or she is just renting your property. Osayine ilizi, your rent to buy, it simply means, I'd love to stay in this area. I'd love to stay maybe in this township or complex or whatever. But prior to me doing my final decision of acquiring as the owner, let me firstly explore, see, observe the area. Is it really what I am looking for?
Okay.
Or else I'm fixing my 1, 2, 3 financially, I'm raising my deposit, or you know, I'm fixing my life.
All right.
Then at a later stage, I will buy it.
All right. And lastly, it is much better to build your own house rather than buying the house, because buying it costs you 2 times the money. Well, that is where we're going to leave it. Namhlanje, I was going to ask Usis Dineo uthini ngale final statement, but unfortunately we've run out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your invaluable knowledge. Inamba zenu and your contact details have been on screen throughout this whole show. Abantu bebenfonela ningenziki ukuthi ningabaphenduleli imibuzo yabo nama phone calls wabo, siyacela ukuthi niqhubeke nincede abantu bethu. Mbukeli siliphetha kanjalo ke uhlelo lethu namhlanje. Thank you so much for joining us. Do join us in Pure Ngongwane next week Monday for another live consumer affairs discussion. Mina ke Alisha Unhlanhla kaJali ngithi go and do all this, the necessary checks before uspenda imali yakho enkulu. Nisabe kahle ilungelo lakho.
Hallelujah.